5 gone, it was time to get Wendy and Dan on the same page with regards to how they were going to discipline the boys. And to do that, they need to discuss the limitations they feel as parents because they both had different upbringings. So what we are going to do today is to write down the things that we feel limit us.
I've never done anything like that before, but my children are at stake here. I want to have control over the kids, and always have, but in such a way that I don't end up being the bad guy or the sergeant. I feel that in the end, I'm going to alienate my kids to some degree, and I wouldn't want that.
Why?
Because it happened in my life.
So your limitation here would be the word control. Any that comes to mind with yourself, Wendy?
Well, I mean, there was no consistency and hardly any boundaries in my family.
So that led you to feel what as a child?
It made me feel a little like lost and out of control. Insecure.
That's the
Insecure.
worst. That's the worst.
Insecure. I'm constantly trying to make sure I do everything that I'm supposed to do as a mother, and I don't want to mess up.
So to please for everything.
Yeah, needing for the children to accept me, or acceptance, you know?
Acceptance. That's the one that had to do mostly with my relationship with my parents.
Well, first of all, when you have one parent not there, you want their approval and their acceptance.
My father is Brian Wilson of the Beach Boys, and he's sold millions and millions of records in his time. Growing up was fun. I mean, we got to go on tour, but it was also very lonely at times because we grew up in a really huge home, and my dad was pretty much absent. Whether he was home or not, he was absent. So it was hard for us because we really lacked that fatherly love and that figure in our lives.
With my father, I guess I never got the validation I needed. Yeah, he's a very elusive, person.
I think that the world got more from Brian Wilson than I did, yeah. I mean, but I kind of realized that he just wasn't able to do everything, and that's what he focused on. I've really moved on, honestly, and I don't dwell on things like that.
I'm not as judgmental because now I see it through my children, and I feel like I can forgive.
I guess in the beginning of the exercise, I thought, how is this relevant to our situation? Why do we have to get so sappy right now? But then I realized that it really was crucial and essential to the whole process we're going through.
Getting Wendy to really open up about how lonely she felt as a child really helped her to realize how difficult it is to leave her own boys at bedtime.
Can I put your pirate pajamas on? You could say that I'm a little anxious about it, but we really need our bed back and our sleep back.
These lights off, Mum. I knew that if Wendy understood the importance of the boys sleeping in their own beds, then she just might pull herself away, and it would make bedtime a lot easier.
I want you, Mommy.
If they really want you now, okay, what they're going to do is they're going to come out. You're then going to do the stay in bed technique, which is to take them back into their bed and say, it's bedtime, darling. The second time they come out, you say bedtime, and you put them back in. And the third time you say nothing, and you take them straight back into their bed. Okay, so that they're not rewarded with communication, because there has to be a cut-off limit, Bedtime is bedtime now.
It's you.
So remember, no conversation, okay? What's the first thing we say? Bedtime, darling.
Bedtime, darling.
Okay.
Can you sit here with me? Sit here, sit here, sit here.
So this is what's going on right now. They're in their beds and they're used to calling all the time, and you going in. Wendy was strong, and she simply led them straight back to bed. And even though they cried, within 20 minutes they were fast asleep. The question remains, however, will they get up and go into their mum and dad's bed? So I curled up on the couch to find out.
Come on, let's see. Are you sure can I get you anything?
I'm fine. It's like Nanny stakeout. What's it?
When I went went to bed, I was dreading the whole process because I knew that, this was going to be like cold turkey for them. I knew that they were going to have to actually sleep in their beds the whole night.
I want you, Mommy.
Sure enough, Leo and Bo got up and headed to their mum and dad's bedroom. However, as tough as it was for Wendy, she led them straight back into their bedroom. So it was a major victory for this family.
I don't want anything.
It was hard for me. It was really hard for me, to be honest. I had to change my ways and do it. And it was for the best. And I'm glad I did it.
It's the first time in a long time they've slept in their own beds.
I know.
Yeah, I think they're gonna sleep better too.
The last time Dan and I slept alone, I can't even remember, to be honest with you.
With this family snug in bed, it was time for me to leave. But if mum and dad don't keep up what we've put in place, then it just might come tumbling down. But only time will tell.
Coming up on SuperNanny. Can mom and dad rein the kids in without Joe?
Did you hear what I said?
Yes.
Or are they in for a slap in the face
Oh my goodness.
when SuperNanny returns?